Hey guys, this is Sandeep from RevAtlas and today we're taking a look at the review of the OPPO Enco X. Now before we get this started, please do make sure to hit the subscribe button and also turn on notifications to avoid missing any videos from us in the future. Now let's begin. In terms of design, I would probably say that the Enco X is a combination of all previous earphone and case designs that we have seen over the past year or so from OPPO. It is shaped like a pebble and it looks really premium owing to the dual tone design which breaks the monotonous white silhouette with the silver band that runs along the mid portion of the device. Now this middle band also houses the OPPO logo, pairing button on the right and a Type-C port at the bottom. Even the hinge has been given a tasty look as they chose this portion to highlight the partnership with Dyne Audio. The case weighs in at 44 grams while the earphones add 7 grams, bringing the total weight to 51 grams. Now they don't feel heavy, but they feel better built than even the Apple AirPods Pro, which I feel they rival despite the AirPods being 2.5 times the cost of the OPPO. Now the AirPods Pro itself is built well, but the Enco X makes it feel cheap in comparison. Take a look at how little flex there is on the Enco X top portion compared to the AirPods Pro, and no, it's not because the AirPods Pro is older, it was always this way. The subtle but often annoying and OCD-inducing play is also there on some other devices from Samsung, Realme, Xiaomi and more, which have a similar design, but the Enco X doesn't, and while it may increase just a bit over usage, I still think it will outlast most of the competitions in terms of the build quality itself. The spring-loaded mechanism is stronger as well, and while this has actually gotten a bit loose on the AirPods, it never was as strong as the OPPO, which remains locked in place, and unless you really shake it, it won't shut on its own. The magnetic force is strong and closes with a satisfying snap, and the earphones are also magnetically locked in and charging when docked. The size of the earphones is what caught me off guard, as it looks quite nice with the flat profile and the short stem, kind of like a sort of shotgun. The AirPods Pro juts out from your ears quite a bit, and while that probably may be a point, I still love the size of these and they are really comfortable even for longer duration of use. The ear tips are also comfortable, but I found the sealing to be a bit lacking compared to the W51 for example, but again not a major issue. In terms of noise cancellation, I would say that these are better than the W51, which was good for the price segment, but notably behind some of the big boys. This is definitely better, but again, if ANC is high on your priority list, then there are better options like the AirPods Pro. Where this just shines is in terms of audio quality itself. The soundstage is really wide, the clarity is amazing, and the volume is also great. I always think that great earphones or headphones make listening to live music sound better, and that was definitely the case with this, where I literally got goosebumps listening to Malhajam by Agam, where Harish's voice was simply rendered so beautifully by the Enco X. Now it's worth mentioning that these support LHDC, AAC and SBC, and they also have Bluetooth 5.2. While it works with Android and iOS as well as any device that supports audio over Bluetooth, it works best natively with OPPO devices, and I get this question a lot, but this here that you see is an animation that pops up on phones from OPPO that is supported. Now in this case, the Enco X is connected to the OPPO Find X2 Pro, and you can also customize the various functions including the touch controls. What double tap does, what a triple tap does, what press and hold does, etc. And it can also update the firmware. In case you don't have an OPPO phone, you won't get the animation, but you can still make use of the Hey Melody app to customize the controls on non-OPPO phones and also update the firmware. Now in terms of touch controls, these are intuitive, but my only problem is the fact that when you're actually doing volume up and swiping up on the stem, there is a chance that the Enco X might fall off your ear or start to come a bit loose. There was a notable difference between SBC and LHDC using the Enco X on the Find X2 Pro, even on something like YouTube Music, and I'm sure with higher quality sources or platforms like Tidal, the difference is even more magnified. Keep in mind that LHDC will also affect the latency when gaming, and I found it best to turn it off, else the lag was pretty noticeable, and in some cases this will also affect gameplay. But since the LHDC does not really affect the game quality, I find that it's still fine to turn it off. Here's a comparison between the mics on the AirPods Pro and the Enco X. Hey guys, this is Sandeep from RevAtlas and this is the sound check from the Apple AirPods Pro. Hey guys, this is Sandeep from RevAtlas and this is the sound check from the OPPO Enco X. Now my friends told me that they love the Enco X compared to some of the previous TWS earphones that I had used to converse with them, and in fact they're almost as good as the AirPods Pro. I found them to be a bit behind as they pick up a bit more noise from the background and also tend to be more prone to echo. The AirPods Pro sounded more natural and was able to suppress the echo really well, and the Enco X also does a good job at reducing the wind noise compared to most other TWS earphones. Now each bud has 44 mAh of battery and the case has 535 mAh one, and they're rated for around 4 hours with strong ANC and 5.5 hours with ANC off, and we got 90% of charge without issues, and I think we would have achieved a full quarter charge if we drained them completely. The case can refill the charge on these earphones up to 5 times, and it takes slightly under 2 hours for a full charge over Type-C with the case, and earphones take around 1 hour and 20 minutes for a full charge when in the case. Now these also support Qi wireless charging, so any of your chargers will be able to wirelessly charge it, but it does take longer than using the wired method. Last but not the least, these also provide IP54 rating and thus is a good companion, especially if you're running or working out in the gym, for example, where there is a tendency to sweat more than usual. Overall, the Enco X is just another device that proves OPPO is definitely a leader in the audio department, and after having given us hits such as the M31, the W31 and the W51, I'm really happy to see another winner from them. The Enco X is basically the M31 version of a TWS earphone because it punches way above its price segment, and for most, including some Apple users even, I feel that this is one earphone that can give them practically the same experience at 10,000 rupees instead of getting the AirPods Pro. The audio quality is amazing, the overall feature set is heavy, and it almost gets every single thing right. It's an easy recommendation in my book and great value for money at this price point. Thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comment section. See you again in the next one.